The big question, where are we up to and how soon will you get the thesis? So the thesis, five parts, sort of looking at the various stuff that I've talked about so far, the sort of the background approach, the problem in car-centric cities, what should we actually be learning from these transit-centric places where it's been working, and then how do we get to these pragmatic strategies and that sort of stuff. So plenty of chapters to go, lots and lots of chapters and plenty of running. Good news is that 7 of them are pretty much done, and we've got a few more to go. And the really nice news about that is that the ones that are done are all the long ones. So there's only a few shorter chapters to sort of polish off as we go. So at the moment, I reckon we're about 77% done. So it's getting there.
Not 78.
Not 78. I don't know. Maybe 70. Whatever. So that's about where we're at the moment. Looking to complete in February. So yeah, there's a bit of copy editing to be done in the next couple of months, just for the chapters that are pretty close together. Got to finish up the Melbourne and Toronto case studies. I don't know what I need to write in my head, just haven't got it down on paper yet. And then yeah, we've already had a couple of goes at trying to get some papers about this framework and the pragmatic strategies, but trying to adjust that into a thesis format. So that's the main task so far, continuing forward. Just briefly talking about the research contributions. So obviously this legitimate amount of transit priority framework is sort of one of the major contributions. This idea that it's not just about building the transit priority, it's also about how you're actually going to legitimize it. This idea that you can increase the amount of transit priority, but you also might need to increase the amount that's legitimate and support it. And that compromise and partial construction isn't necessarily a bad outcome. But this way of thinking about it in terms of both the amount and the amount that's legitimate. And then, of course, the other major kind of contribution that I was talking about is the pragmatic strategies. This idea of building legitimacy before you go out and do things, avoiding impacts on other road users, or building legitimacy actually by doing. Getting out there and putting it on the ground and giving people an opportunity to see that, it actually might not be all that bad. Some conclusions. So, yep, the thesis is mostly there. We're looking for a February 2020 completion. We've got this new framework, and we've got the pragmatic strategies. And I suppose that's about where I'd like to end here. Are there any questions?